is Kevin Owens. You're watching Inside the Ropes YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or I will destroy your house. I'm just gonna come and break everything. Okay, that's not true. I won't do that. But just don't be a and go do it. You better bleep that.
We're back here on Inside the Ropes and we're joined by Kevin Owens, one of the most, I'm just going to use Miz's line because I think it applies to you, the most must-see WWE superstar. You are one of those people. How are you?
Miz here somewhere. Miz! Just use your catchphrase. He doesn't care. He's talking about a stupid TV show.
Do you watch it?
Of course not.
What would you rather watch, Miz versus Mrs. or a 3-hour compilation set of the Great Khali?
Oh, the Great Khali, all the way. And that's not a slight on Miz and Maryse. They're actually great. I love them. If I had time, I probably would watch their show. But, man, the Great Khali, come on, dude. He's the best.
Did you like when he thought he was co-WWE champion with Jinder when he helped him?
Yeah, when he just grabbed the title, yeah. What I liked better was right before he went out, I happened to rush into Gorilla. I'm like, oh, my God, the Great Khali's here. And he was about to go out in a T-shirt. And somebody's like, hey, take your T-shirt off. Oh, and he got so mad at having to take his T-shirt off. So that was my favorite part of that night.
He's the best. I remember we did an interview with him one time when he was doing a 10-man tag. Yeah. And we said, you know, you looking forward to Sunday? And he said, I'm just going to stand on the apron.
Yeah, I mean, that's as honest as it can be, right? He had a clear strategy for that night.
So, you know, since we last spoke to you, you had that storyline with Shane McMahon that turned into you and Sami and Shane and Bryan. It was such a huge storyline with Vince involved and all these things. When you look back on it now, are you happy with it? Did you enjoy the experience of having that?
I mean, I think it could have went many ways, but, you know, obviously the end game of that storyline being Daniel Bryan's return is better than anything I could have imagined. You know, in terms of for Bryan himself, for Daniel Bryan to be able to step back into the ring was an amazing thing, right? And in terms of WWE and wrestling in general, to get one of the greatest performers alive today back is huge. So, you know, of all the ways it could have worked out, that's pretty much the best outcome possible. So, of course, I'm happy. And, you know, I'm glad to see he's back, and I'm glad to see he's still the same Daniel Bryan that he was before. To be honest, he's just as good as he ever was, and it's like those years off, like the time that he had to take off, never happened, honestly.
And let's go back to that night where you had the main event segment with Vince McMahon, where you beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
What was that like for you as someone who grew up in wrestling? You know, Vince is obviously this prolific character. Then you worked for him for a while, and now you're getting to work an angle with him when he never really works with anybody. Yeah. What was the experience like in that day?
Oh, that was really surreal, and you know, it's something I don't know if I'll ever. I really don't know if I'll ever reach that kind of moment again. You know, sometimes I wonder. I've been here for 3 years, and I've done so much, and I've lived so many incredible things. That moment with Vince probably being the pinnacle of it, you know, along with the Universal title. Sometimes I wonder if this is as good as it gets for me. I hope not, you know, and I don't plan on it being that way, but man, it's going to be hard to top.
Is it true? I mean, because there's a lot of stories about Vince McMahon that if you work with him in an in-ring capacity and you're going to be physical with him, that he does not want you to take it easy on him. Would that be a fair assessment?
I mean, if you heard the language he used right before I hit him with that headbutt, he certainly didn't seem to want me to take it easy on him. Yeah, so I'd say that's true.
And when you had the Hell in a Cell match with Shane, again, one of those things that not a lot of people have, a Hell in a Cell match which is so, you know, good and people remember it, because it's not like it's a random Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where there's just a match. You guys had this like classic Hell in a Cell. What was that like for you? And also, Sami going heel, becoming a bad guy, I don't think people ever expected that. How was it being partners with him and coming out of it like that?
So the match itself was something very memorable, like for me and hopefully a lot of people. Just being in that match, obviously, such a, you know, being in that cell is a crazy experience, and being in there with Shane McMahon, who's willing to do pretty much anything, which is, you know, pretty much similar to what the kind of energy I bring in the ring as well. It was, I mean, you watch Hell in the Cell matches for long enough, you obviously as a performer you want to be in them, and this was my second one. And I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to do another one, but man, again, it's something that I wonder how, if I ever do another one, how am I going to top this one? You know what I mean? and everything from it. It's so memorable. Sami, saving me, and Shane crashing, and everything that happened after. It just makes the match stand out as something special.
And being with Sami and having that partnership, because I know that you guys did the Jericho podcast at one point. You guys were talking about it. It just seemed so out of left field for a lot of people that he would partner with you and you guys would have that. But you guys are such old friends. Was it cool to reconnect that way and be together?
Yeah, of course. I guess, to be honest, I feel like nothing turned out the way I expected it to, even including that. And obviously now he's hurt, so it's kind of put a stall on things. But he's, we followed each other through everything. We've been friends, we've been enemies, we've been everything in between. So for him to, for that to happen and for us to be linked in WWE in that way again, it just makes sense. And I feel like we only scratched the surface of what we could have done together. But hopefully he comes back and we pick it back up.
And last question would be, working with Braun Strowman. It seems like quite a task. How's it been working with him? Because you've got to be in a lot of angles that we might have saw in the Attitude Era and stuff on Raw.
Well, I'll say this, Braun, for a guy who's been doing this for 3 years, pretty much, and had maybe 5 matches before he showed up at SummerSlam, making his debut a couple years ago. And for a guy that big, he's pretty incredible. His progression's been unbelievable. So that's been cool, but he's still a 300-some pounds guy, 6'8", whatever he is. Everything he does hurts. That part of it's been a bit rough, but that's just it is what we do. It's a sacrifice of what we do, obviously. But it's been cool, and more importantly, people seem to enjoy what we're doing. And that's really all that matters in the end.